watching. Please like and subscribe to help us spread TIPA's positive approach message around the world.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome back to Live at 5, middle of November. Oh, wait. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Whoa.
Whoa. We're not there yet.
No.
Guess what, guys? Are we looking forward to the middle of November?
I feel like we are. I think my brain's been working towards the middle of November for a little bit here.
Yeah.
So why are we starting to think ahead like it's almost the middle of November? What's happening in the middle of November?
A small event, I think we have.
It's a tiny little undertaking.
Yeah.
It's the third time we're trying it in the middle of November. It's the second time we're trying it virtually. Anybody out there have a guess? Conference.
Yeah.
All gems can shine. This year, that is our theme. That's what's driving what we're going to do, what we're going to share, what we're going to explore. So this week and maybe even next, we're going to just be focusing in on gems. And what about gems? What are gems and how do we support them to get us excited and pumped up about the conference? So don't go away. Stick with us to the end of this little broadcast because there might be a surprise for you at the end, a discount on something, maybe to attend the conference. Maybe. Stick with us. So today, I decided let's go right there, right to that tipping point. And how do you support an amber? So real quick for everybody out there, in case people don't know gems, let's just the condensed version. What are the gems and why gems that you know?
So when I think of gems, it's where people are in their brain state in this moment in time that we happen to be interacting or looking or working with someone. And the other cool part is we don't see this as just for people living with dementia. We see this as all people are gems and what's happening for someone in this moment in their gem state so that I have a place to start and an idea of what may be helpful for our relationship.
You nailed it. It's really about what's happening when the brain is changing, what changes in our abilities, not just lost, but retained, what's changing in our abilities. And it's us, it's anybody. But this was framed up for people living with dementia. In what way? Why and what way?
Well, I think go ahead, Shelley.
No, go ahead, Ellen. That's fine.
I was going to say, I think there are already systems out there, and there have been systems out there already that really looked at the whole and by whole, I mean the circle that's empty versus the donut. And so GEMS looks at the donut and the stuff that we can still work with, but placing value on everyone, no matter what brain state they're living in that moment. Yeah.
So it's looking at the person and what's the juicy parts that are there, the stuff we can work with, the stuff we can really get into and enjoy and appreciate instead of that emptiness. And it's also, I find it interesting that it's not on a number scale because there's those multiple things you meant, those multiple ways that you've mentioned, Alejandro, really focus on numbers 1 to 9 or 10 or 7 to 1, or they go all over the place. And it's like, what does it mean if you're a 4? Somewhere in the middle. But what does that mean? So these gems are just a way of framing in a positive way. So let's real quick review. Now, here's what I'm going to, everybody put up your hand and then take your thumb. There are 6 gems, but hopefully this one is a stabilizer. This is the fulcrum. This is the one that actually can move. If you actually do this, the gems can move and it can stay a fulcrum, or the gems are here and this one can. So what's this first gem?
Sapphire.
Sapphire. Real quick, couple words, sapphire.
True blue.
Flexible.
Flexible.
True blue. Flexible. Good day. Yeah. All right. Next.
Diamond.
Diamond. Diamond. Tell me a little kind of some of the words we use to describe a diamond who is living with dementia. Or it could be us too, but a diamond.
Rigid, inflexible.
Sometimes rigid and inflexible.
Does well with routines.
Routines and rituals really are a good support, can really thrive as a sapphire if they have that. No, oh, this is sticking out from the rest of the gems. Why do you think?
Well, because it's a little different than the others. It can,
But
it looks a lot like the sapphire.
it looks a heck of a lot like a sapphire. If it's got those routines and rituals, you may not notice any kind of permanent sort of brain changes.
Yeah.
And then we go to
I was going to say, Marion just said many facets.
many facets. Nice. Thank you. Awesome. Then we get to
Emerald.
emerald, green on the stoplight. Just a couple words about emerald.
Emeralds are flawed. We'll make some mistakes, but the person in emerald state may not notice the mistakes that the rest of the gems may notice, or certain gem states may notice.
Yeah, so they may be making mistakes, but sometimes awareness is a little not quite present. Also on the go. They still can do stuff. They still got still have a lot of what?
Skill.
Skill. They still
Right.
got skills. All right.
They can still be independent. Both diamonds and emeralds can kind of.
Yeah, they can still live out in the world kind of somewhat
That's what Marion said.
with the right support.
Support.
Then next,
Amber.
amber. That's the stoplight sequence. What does amber or yellow kind of mean?
Caution, caution.
Caution. Why?
They've lost safety awareness.
They're losing that safety awareness because where are they living?
In the moment.
Right
In this
now,
moment.
In this moment. In this moment, what I like, what I don't like, it's all about what's happening now, sensations. It's all about that.
Mhm.
And then we get to
Ruby.
ruby. What's the big shift from amber to ruby? Kind of, if you had to just basic in general.
Loss of skill.
Loss of skill, but what do they still have?
It's strength.
Got strength. Yeah, they got strength. They still have, there are strong abilities like music. We'll go deeper into this, like music and some gross motor. They can still do that. They're still there.
Mhm.
And then finally we have the last one,
Pearl.
pearl. And what are some things we know about pearls?
Ruled by reflexes. So the reflective instincts really can kick in.
Just reflexes, pretty much. Always?
No, can get something different in
But
moments.
sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes they come out.
And what helps any gem shine?
Support, right? Support.
Right support and the right
Care.
shining them up, making them as shiny as they can be, and or giving them good care,
Mhm.
the right care, the appropriate care, just the right amount so they can shine. So as we start this, thank you. I think that's a pretty good overview, everybody, and it's worth a try. Starting there. Why do you think I'm choosing amber first?
I think Shelley mentioned caution, and I think for me, when I think of amber, I am thinking I want to be cautious in the way I approach
Mhm.
this person in this particular gem state, because I know for me, this is the place where I can get very impatient, and I can flip from being very sapphire and everything's cool to, oh, I'm very rigid and I cannot be flexible and I cannot think of anything to try because my brain locked up in an interaction.
Okay, so you just hit on something that we really talk about a lot, that oftentimes in any setting, but we're going to just go with care settings, two of the most challenging gems to be in the same space,
Diamonds and ambers.
diamonds and ambers. Boy, do they have conflict,
Mhm.
because I need it to be, the diamond needs it to be the way it's supposed to be and go the way it's supposed to go. And I should be able to say, and then you do it. Or something along those lines. And what happens in the care of ambers oftentimes
I think I'm not going to say I would tend to not let the person do as much as they possibly could in moments.
Yeah.
For sure.
So oftentimes, and I've done this myself, it's like, well, you could do this last week. Come on now. Just do it. Do that. Do that. Do that. Use a lot of
Language. Yeah.
A lot of language.
and I'm trying to cue because I'm used to cueing my emerald to go, here's step 1, here's step 2, here's step 3. I'm giving you the cues and I'm saying them and I'm saying, even be using some visuals. And what's the key that's making me go diamond for that, when I'm trying to work? What is the challenge for a lot of us, not everybody?
I would say for me, I may need to pause a little bit longer. I may need to wait a little, and it's not even super long, but any amount of time more tends to shift my gem state. So
when we really want to support an Amber, it's, can we take that time, give them time to do what?
Well, process. And
Process. God, they need time to process. That's when Ambers you really start noticing in the moment. Time to process. What I want to do is real quick from one of my all-time favorite go-to videos that PAC has ever produced. PAC skills make the difference. I will do something special on that one in a couple weeks, so keep coming back. I want to look at, because we're doing this, all gems can shine. Let's watch this interaction with Teepa and Alice. And how does Teepa help her shine? So if you want to go pause, you notice something, just tell me and I'll put a pause on it. Or if anybody out there notices something about Alice or Teepa, so we're not going to watch this twice, we're going to watch it once. If you notice something, just say pause and we'll just talk about it. It's only a few minutes, very few short, about 3 minutes. So what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and share my screen.
Notice how I have my friend Alice do the pieces that she can with support from me for the parts that she can't. Together we get it all done. And at the end, notice the difference in her face.
I just want to point out, together, we got it all done.
right.
That's my first notice. Something that might be different than what is normally happening.
Did I make a difference in her day? Check it out.
Alice, I'm going to help you change your shirt. Okay, we're going to change your shirt. Here we go. Let's take this one off and we're going to put this one on. Okay, so let's pick up your shirt. Here you go. Lean forward a little bit. Let's get the edge. There you go. Here, take that one off. You take it off. Here we go. Elbow out. There you go. Pull your arm out. Here you go. Take it on off. There we go.
So can we pause, Catherine? Because I think it's easy to miss, but Teepa actually sets herself lower than Alice here intentionally, but still close enough that she can move with Alice through these steps of removing her shirt without getting too far into her and overwhelming her space and getting her face all up in her face. So setting up physically in a space where she's helpful without being I'm going to use the word overbearing or overwhelming.
Yeah. She's truly in supportive stance. She's not in that confrontation in the front either.
Yeah, so that's one of those things you might learn at the conference. If you're not sure, what does that mean? The difference between confrontational and supportive stance. What makes this supportive? It's low to the dominant side, but you can learn more about that. Nice notice. Thank you, Alejandro and Shelley. All right, here, ready? Here we go.
Perfect. Now, let's put this one on. There you go.
Just pause. I loved how Alice put her hands up. She just put them up without even,
So what does that tell you?
she knows what it's going to do. We're going to put a shirt on.
She still has the ability to understand what's happening, or she has at least processed, oh, okay, this is what's happening. And that old automatic, autonomic, that's a rhythm. How many of you say, lift your hands up, put your hands up, if with kids? No? Put your arms up. Nice. Here we go. Something I noticed here. Watch throughout this. Two things. Tipa does not talk. She allows Alice, she watches to see what she can do. And Alice demonstrates that she definitely still has fine motor skill. And she does it a little later. She watch when she does it.
You got that one? Nicely done. Ooh, that's a pretty one. I like that one. Pink and blue, beautiful. Let's turn this a little bit so it's better.
What do you notice Tipa keeps using every now and then? And she slips it in. You almost don't notice unless you're looking for it.
There's like a little compliment or a little affirmation, I would say.
Nicely done. There you
And
go.
a thank you. It's a bit of where, you're doing this with me. We're doing it together.
We're doing it together. Thank you. Step complete. Moving on.
There you go. Let's pull that down a little bit.
There she goes again with the skill.
There. Looking good. How's that? Got a few eyeball hairs here. Let's see if I can't get you something to brush your hair with. Here we go. That's it. Good.
There's still some of those affirmations.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Yeah. A little bit more right here. Do right here.
Watch. How does Tipa cue? She has really successful cueing. It's something I always notice in this section with the hair.
And right over here on this side, Miss Alice.
She shows on herself.
Alice, ouch. You got her.
First, she shows on
There
herself.
you go. Good. Okay. A little tangle. Do right over here. Right on that side.
So she just tried right over here, and then she used another visual.
Right over here. Can you get right here?
And then she moved to,
She did a touch.
she did a touch cue. She's mostly been using visual, simple verbal, but she did move to a touch cue. And look what happens.
Brush right there.
There she goes.
There you go. And now the back. Do the back of your hair.
So can we pause for a second, Catherine? Because the thing that I can pick out here is once Alice gets started, she's got it a few times. Tipa really just needs to cue her for the next piece, the next part, the next place. And it's actually really tricky because it's a great place to pause. Alice is moving across her body here.
That's going to be a little harder.
Yeah, so going to the back is, again, it's a bigger movement. It's a bigger transition. It's another transition, actually. So
Yeah.
each transition, Tipa's cueing her back in with these visual, verbal, and a touch cue if needed.
Okay, let's see what happens. Because let's see how much support Alice needs and how successful she is.
Right back here. Can you get right back
There's
here?
that tactile cue again.
Right back here.
So she needs a little help, but once she,
Just a little support. I love this. Let's watch.
Good. Thank you. Can I have a hug?
Who initiated the going in for a hug?
Alice.
Alice did.
I mean,
Look at her face.
Thank you, my friend.
wonderful.
I appreciate your help.
Okay, so any other thoughts on that?
I think, again, I'm going to go back to, you mentioned the time piece before. This isn't a super long video. I mean, it's not like it takes 15 minutes.
It's 3
Yeah.
minutes and like 25 seconds. I literally did the math on it so that I could say. Now, there was the transition of people, let me see if I can get something to brush your hair. How long did that probably take?
Long enough for her to figure out where the hairbrush was and the
10, 15, max 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So changing her shirt and getting her hair, getting her put together, however you want to say it, took
3 minutes.
about 3 minutes.
Mhm.
Now, let's just go general. What's different about what Teepa did than what usually probably happens for our Ambers?
it's faster if I just do it for them. It's faster if,
Mhm.
you know, I bring, you know, I'm going to take your shirt off. I'm going to put your shirt on. We're going to do your hair, and I'm doing everything. And sometimes as a care partner, I may not even be gracious enough to say thank you
Mhm.
at the very end, because now it's just become a task.
Right.
I love that, Alejandro, that you notice that Teepa doesn't do it for her.
Nope.
They do it together, like she said in the beginning. They do it together. And who does most of the work, actually?
Alice does most of it.
Alice does. Who does most of her self-care?
That's right.
Alice does. And Teepa allows her that space and time. And then the beautiful part is saying, thank you. So these are the kind of little subtle nuggets of what PAC does and what our skills are and how we best support somebody. Because if for a lot of Ambers, when people just go in there with their task to get done on their clock, leading with their agenda, oftentimes what can possibly happen or does happen?
Usually there could be fighting instead of.
It could be conflict, it could be discomfort, it could be frustration, all kinds of things that don't necessarily feel great for anybody can happen.
And I have to tell you, Marty Piper just wrote, this is super helpful. She recently made the decisions that line up perfectly with this. She says, you're all changing and helping the way I care for and with my husband.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank
Marty.
you. Come back. And why don't you write in for her that consult if she needs some more support? Because we do have free 30-minute consultations if you ever need it. Consult at teepasnow.com.
Mhm.
And we can support you.
See
See
ya.
you guys later.